Good evening and welcome to Friday's edition of Primetime News. It's a pleasure to be in your company tonight. I'm Pramos Harasis. Before we commence tonight's newscast, we take this opportunity to wish our founding First Lady, Madam Kobambo Nujoma, a blessed 90th birthday. In our lead story tonight, Governor of the Omusati region, Erki Njala, earlier today gave us an update on the region's preparedness to host the 33rd National Independence celebrations. Let's have a listen.
So far, we have met, I think, more than 3 times, and seems like things are going, according to the plan. Although we know that there are some issues that are a little bit challenging, like we were now busy just to make sure that the venue is habitable and can be used. We are now currently mostly concentrated more on 2 issues. One is now to make sure that the venue is ready. 2 is to make sure that all the logistics that have to do with the venue, they are in place. We are currently, we just came out from the logistic committee meeting, where we were now talking about the issue of tents, the issue of seats, and the issue of transport and everything. But far as our concern, everything is falling in place. Besides some few challenges that like the transport, to transport now the shares from the different schools, and then also some items from one area to another, because we have now to also prepare our caterings from different schools that are a little bit in the proximity of the Outapi. That the northern part, the nearest person that you see is your neighbor, is if not more than 10 kilometers. But we are trying now to see in those schools that are in that radius, to help us now to provide their cooking facilities so that at least we can prepare for the public.
On to Namibia-Tanzania bilateral ties, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, emphasized that in order to consolidate Namibia-Tanzania bilateral relations, the 2 countries need to enhance their economic development on the continent. Nandi-Ndaitwah said this during the 3rd session of the Joint Commission of Cooperation between the 2 countries earlier today.
We are here to strengthen our cooperation and to ensure that Namibians and Tanzanians benefit from this cooperation. It's a fact that in order to consolidate our hard-won freedom, we need to enhance our economic development on the continent. Therefore, I would propose that as we deliberate, let us focus on fundamental issues that define our cooperation, such as developmental, regional integration, poverty eradication, women empowerment, youth development, and peace and security, among others. In pursuing our common objective, we should use the 3rd session to exchange ideas on how best we can jointly promote areas of mutual interest, such as agriculture, fisheries and marine resources, small and medium enterprise development, tourism, health, and education.
Chair, honorable ministers, during the 2nd JCC, we expressed concern at the slow flow of trade between our 2 countries and agreed to continue promoting trade and investment as we cooperate, noting that investment, trade, and business are among the critical ingredients for our cooperation. There is need, therefore, to harmonize and improve the business and trading environment for investment and the trade to thrive, including by removing non-tariff barriers which continue to hinder businesses, not only between the United Republic of Tanzania and the Republic of Namibia, but also the rest of the East, Central, and the Southern Africa regions. It is also important to continue encouraging both public and private sectors to be innovative and dynamic and utilize the opportunities available in our countries, in the region, and in the continent at large.
Moving on, Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Kalle Schledwein, is in the Karas region on an official mission to engage the regional and local leadership, traditional authorities and agriculturalists on the envisaged development plans for the Nekadal Dam. Schledwein, who is accompanied by senior officials from the ministry and the NAM Water Chief Executive Officer, Abraham Nehemiah, noted the ministry has acquired 19,000 hectares of land near the Nekadal Dam. More from this insert.
We all agree that when we have natural resources like water, we must exploit it for the benefit of the people in that region where that resource occurs, but also for national benefits overall. That is still today the case. But what has caught up with us is the mere size of the project. We built the dam, and you will recall that the tendered amount was 3.8 billion. We ended up spending 5.4 billion. So that's a hefty amount that came on top of what the original estimates were. There were a number of reasons for that, but let that be what it was. We can learn from it, but what we have take home is that we have the dam. It's done. And it's an spectacular piece of infrastructure. It was designed, its size, to catch 3 rainy seasons, or it needs 3 rainy seasons to fill up. So the design of the irrigation scheme is to have a secure water supply for at least 3 years without any inflow. And I think that's an important aspect. We cannot use the whole 800 million cubic meter in 1 year, because then in the next year we are stranded. We have no water. So the design is based on a 3-year water security plan.
Now, Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, Poemba Shifeta, says the Babwata National Park falls under the Zambezi foot and mouth disease infected zone, posing an economical threat. Shifeta said this in a heated discussion on Thursday before the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Constitutional and Legal Affairs. Let's get more insights into the discussion.
That part, they were FMD in October, declared by the Minister of Agriculture, in Zambezi area. In Zambezi area, I'm talking about, it's connected to Babwata, because there's no fence there. The animal come there. I'm telling you, when you talk about zones, we talk about zones. When a zone, something exists found in a zone, that whole zone is called a zone, if you don't know that. Last year in October, go to agriculture, they will tell you, there was an announcement of a FMD in October last year. 2022. You are denying it? Let me read it for you. If you are denying it, there was. So, therefore, what I'm talking here, they are factual statement I'm making. So, it is here. FMD, the announcement of FMD in October last year, 2022.
Where?
In Zambezi area. Zambezi is connected to, it's a one zone. I'm saying it's called a zone. And that zone came up to, I'm talking about something that I didn't know. I'm working on it. It's not a question of, I'm working with this thing.
Yeah, but it's wrong. You are talking
it's
about
not wrong. I'm talking about a zone.
We were not here for debate.
A zone can go.
We were not here for debate.
Your top roundup is up next. Welcome to Primetime Biz, where business and economics are the primary focus. The 2023-2024 national budget headlines the slot tonight. Rally for Democracy and Progress Member of Parliament Mike Kavekotora says nothing in this year's budget suggests the country is on a sustainable path. Kavekotora expressed his sentiments in the National Assembly on Thursday, whilst contributing to the 2023-2024 financial year budget debate. Let's have a listen.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Minister, I don't see anything in this budget that suggests that we are on a sustainable path. Because I ask myself, what properties are incorporated in this budget to ensure sustainability? Public debt is still growing, which translates into a higher cost of servicing those debts. Therefore, this budget cannot possibly be pro-sustainability and simultaneously increase borrowing. How do you ensure sustainability while you are living beyond your means and continue to spend what you don't have?
On to labor matters, the Bidvest Prestige Cleaning Services employees are demanding a salary increment of 5,000 Namibian dollars from 1,800 Namibian dollars per month, effective the end of March. The employees handed over a petition with their demands to management earlier this morning. More from this report.
The main purpose of the peaceful demonstration is to hand over our position by hand to the managing director of the company, Mr. Jacob, in order to attend our matter as soon as possible to avoid labor unrest. We have been suffered in silence for so long as we realize that it is high time to speak out our problem as it deteriorated. Here under our demand. Number one, we employees of Bidvest Prestige Cleaning need this salary increasement from 1,800 monthly to 5,000 per month. Effect from end of this month, March 2023. We need transport allowance any amount of 750 monthly, as the company does not provide any tax money or transport to the worker employee has to sacrifice footing far from location to Gloom Mall.
We will go through it. We will see what we can do. We accept your comments, and we will revert back in a given time frame. Yeah, you gave us a month, so in a month. Okay. Yeah. This month, end of March, beginning of April. Yeah.
That concludes our top news segment for this evening. Up next, we have the economics roundup, followed by the weather forecast. Please stay tuned. Welcome to Sport Planet. The annual Racing Uranium Marathon and 5-kilometer fun walk is set to take place in Swakopmund on Saturday, with a record-breaking 1,000 entries received. Daylat Ikanjo, the Racing manager for corporate communications, stated in a media release on Thursday that this year's turnout is the highest in the event's history. In support of Cancer Association of Namibia's fight against cancer, the popular 5-kilometer fun walk will also be held on the day. The marathon will feature categories such as the 42-kilometer marathon, the 21-kilometer half marathon, and a 10-kilometer run for both men and women in the Grand Masters, Masters, Veterans, and Juniors categories. The event is open to the public for participation. On to the English Premier League. Liverpool have the chance to move into the top 4 of the Premier League on Saturday and pile the pressure on Tottenham in a weekend where league leaders Arsenal and second-place Manchester City both have tricky away games. 4 wins from their last 5 league matches, culminating in last weekend's 7-0 humiliation of Manchester United, have left Liverpool 3 points behind Tottenham with a better goal difference and a game in hand. The attack of Darwin Núñez, Cody Gakpo and Mohamed Salah looks to be gelling, and Jurgen Klopp's side will expect to warm up for their visit to play Real Madrid next week, with 3 points from their visit to Bournemouth. Your sports roundup is next. With that, we have come to the end of this week's newscast. Many thanks for having us during the course of the week. Do make a date with us again next week for more updates on local, continental, and global affairs. From myself, Pramrose Harasis, and the entire team behind the scenes, we wish you a restful weekend.